What's up? What's up? The show is about to begin. Late night, Monday night with Fella and Rev. Straight Talk Sports Podcast. Mr. Rev Bro, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm straight. I'm still getting the swing of things here at school, but you know, it's our last semester, so we finna take this by the horns. This bull by the horns, and we gonna get to that stage and graduate.
Absolutely. I had my first day today.
Dang, your first day was today. Wow.
Yeah, just not today. Unlike you, I had a book bag. I ain't had nothing in it though. I had my lunch in it because I ain't had no classes. But still, I had a book bag. I ain't doing that. I had band today and work. But still, first day.
I had a book bag, but I didn't have a pencil the entire first week of class. So I borrowed pencils several times throughout the week. But most of my classes didn't require a pencil except one where I really needed one and had to borrow one.
Yeah, well, tomorrow is when I got 3 real classes in a row, starting at 8 a.m. So I'll try to have pencils on me. But yeah, that's how it's going.
Did you want to say something to the people before we start?
Say something to the people?
Yeah.
Welcome to the latest and greatest episode of the most underrated, the least hated sports podcast in the universe. If you haven't already, go ahead and look to the bottom right corner of this video. There's a button that says subscribe on it. And next to that button, there's also a bell. So, if you like this video, subscribe, hit the bell. You never miss another video. You'll be the first one to know when we get active. Welcome.
We gotta stop stealing his lines. He gonna check us out one day and he'll be like, y'all stealing all my stuff. Hey, if you just happen to listen to this, Black Okage, we respect you. And yeah, so put us on.
We're not here for the shameless plugs. We're here for sports podcasts.
Right.
So,
yep, that is exactly right. We are here for the sports podcast. And so we might as well get the show on the road. And you know what we start off with? As usual, we start off with the question of the day.
yes, sir.
Yep, question of the day, of course, is the segment where we... Oh, that's loud. Sorry about that. We start off with the question. We ask each other a question, and we grade each other on the answer to that question. The grades are completely subjective, so please do not be offended if you feel like it was a A+ answer, and I give that answer a C- because it's my opinion, my very, very subjective opinion and grades, right? But don't let your teacher grade your stuff subjectively.
We'd all be hurt.
Yeah, don't let that happen unless your teacher is like your best friend, which is possible.
And also weird and probably illegal in some instances. But yeah, possible.
Well, no, I mean, if you got like a paper, I guess that's kind of subjective grading, because one teacher might like it, one teacher might not. But anyway, we're gonna get to the question of the day. And do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
No, sir. Go ahead.
All right. So this is college football starts this week. So I don't know. I kind of like this question. It's kind of like a go-to college football question for me. This is something that I just know. I don't have to look up. But back in 1998, well, I know you're aware of the Heisman Trophy. So back in 1998, it first happened as far as the Heisman Trophy. And that first was the first and still only defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. Do you know who that player was? And a bonus, who did he Who were the top 3 finalists that year? Crickets. Crickets. Are you looking it up? Did I lose you? You got your mic muted.
Oh yeah, I sure do. I'm tripping.
You good?
I am tripping. I was saying, I have not even the slightest clue. I ain't looking it up. I ain't gonna hold you, Chief, because I don't know what the hell the answer is. So, with that being said, go ahead and just give me my F. Just give me an L. I don't even deserve the F. Give me the F and educate me real quick.
Yeah, you do deserve an L. You ain't got no guesses.
He said 98.
Yeah, 1998. This player, he recently retired from the NFL.
Recently retired.
Yeah.
Like, when you say recent, how recent you talking?
I'm talking 1 or 2 years ago.
1 or 2 years ago.
And the top 3 finalists are all players that you've heard of, including him, the person I'm talking about.
It had to be. It had to probably be Ray Lewis, Peyton Manning, or Joe Montana.
You got one. You actually did get one of the players right.
Oh, did I really?
Yeah. But none of them were the Heisman Trophy winner.
Wait. The question was who won it, and what was the second part of the question?
Who were the top 3 finalists that year?
The top 3 finalists, and I got one of them.
You got one of the top 3 finalists right, but he didn't win.
Oh, Ray? No. Who else did I say?
Oh Lord.
I don't know. Anyway, shoot, Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams? No, that's a little late.
You said 1998, right?
Yeah. Ricky Williams didn't come out of the draft until a little later. 1998. The question is, Jed, who's the only defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy? Ever. Bonus to that question is the top 3 finalists that year, 1998. Nothing. Ray Lewis is I guess this is an okay guess.
No, I just started throwing out decent household names of football. I absolutely have not even the slightest of ideas as to who it might even be. So, yeah, I'm going to just...
Better use your resources.
You said I got some resources? Let me see.
You got some resources. Better use them.
Be? I think I'm a... I don't know. I think he played for Michigan. Let's see. Wood something. Charles Wood? No. Woodson. I think it was Woodson. Charles Woodson.
You figured that out by yourself?
Oh yeah, something just dawned on me. It's like I don't know. It's like the skies just opened up, and a little dove was like, "Hey yo, Charles, it's Charles."
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna give a major shout out to Jed for getting both answers to that question correctly. Yes, it is indeed Charles Woodson, Michigan Wolverine. He beat out Peyton Manning and Randy Moss, coming the only defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. So there's your little fun fact. Make sure you take note of that, Romero, because you should know that.
Writing it down, right?
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, shout out to you, Jed. And as far as your grade, sorry, I'm gonna give you a D-, because it just so
I'll take it.
happened to dine on you. But you use your resources, so shout out to you.
Yeah,
Even
like
though
you done
even
did
though
3 or 4 times.
even though I had to point it out to you and you didn't just use it, but at the same time I'm actually looking at the chat section. So yeah, go ahead, take your D minus.
Hey, you know what? That's not even that bad. I'll take it.
Yeah, I've always liked Charles Woodson as well. That's before my time. I was only 2, but knowing that he was the only defensive player to win Heisman, I thought that was pretty cool.
Fair enough.
All right, so
It was a good question. Just the wrong person to ask.
Yeah, I know. I know you didn't know
okay.
it. That's why I asked it.
Okay. Well, with that in mind, Josh.
Yes, sir.
You know what sporting event's going on right now?
The U.S. Open.
And I thought I was going to ask you one thing so you can get the easy answer, but I'm not. I actually thought of a plethora of questions. So this is what I'm going to ask you. This is just something simple. This is solely opinion based. So really, your answer can be whatever you want it to be. I'm going to ask you, what do you think is the most impressive accomplishment amongst these NBA legendary performances? Okay?
Yep.
You ready? All right. So, is it Klay Thompson's 37 and a quarter or 36 and a quarter? Is it
37?
Was it 37?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. That one I don't even know how you let that happen. Okay. Excuse me. Was it the 37 and a quarter? Was it Wilt's 100? Or third party option coming? So I'm dealing with some buffering issues on my end.
No, you're good.
Or
I hear everything you're saying.
Yeah. Klay's 37 and a quarter. Kobe's 55 and a half. Or Wilt's 100 points in the game. Which is the most impressive and why?
Some people might not like this, but I'm not going to say Wilt. Because it's not even on tape.
No tape, no evidence.
Only people I've ever seen that are the people that were in the gym that day. Not saying it didn't happen. I'm sure it did. More impressive. When he got the 56 and a half, is that the same one? Is that the same game he got 81?
No, sir.
That's a different game.
Yeah, man, look, Tubman has some ridiculously high-scoring games that it'll blow your head off.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I'm gonna go with Kobe.
Kobe, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kobe. Cause well, I don't know. Maybe I'll go Klay. Cause Klay is if he does that for 2 quarters well, that's not possible. It's possible that wasn't gonna happen though. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kobe. 56 and a half. It's pretty impressive, and we were able to see it. Yeah, we were able to see it. That's why it's more impressive than Wilt's 100, because I never seen it. Like, you only hear the myths or the tale of him scoring 100, and I kind of know the tale where you just like not a great free throw shooter, but on that particular night he was just making all his free throws.
It's like an urban legend.
Yeah. Even though his is really impressive, because I think he only made like 26 shots. So it just lets you know how many free throws he made. But yeah, I think Kobe's what is it, 56? Kobe's 56 was just I think it's harder.
Think so.
I think it was probably tougher than Klay's. 37. Even though Clay, ooh, that's really hard because Clay did that with like what was it, 2 dribbles or 11 dribbles? He got that in that quarter or something like
He
that.
had the ball in his.
You cut out. What'd you say?
I said he had the ball in his hand. Total of seconds.
How many seconds?
90.
Yeah, that's nuts. That game was really crazy. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think
9 for
to
9
go
from 3.
to go
4
along
for
with that,
4.
we know Kobe was creating his shot, and I think that's a little more impressive to find your spot and not just be open. Clay was just open and knocking down all the shots. They weren't all open, but yeah, I'm going with Kobe. Kobe for sure. Kobe for sure.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I will take it. And actually, I did. I lied to you. I had 2 games mixed up because there was one game where Kobe scored 42 in the first half en route to dropping 55 in total, and those 42 were scored mostly on Michael Jordan. It was Wizards Michael Jordan, but it was Jordan. So that was my fault. But the 55-point game was the Toronto game.
Okay. So
And
that's
that
the
we've
game
seen
he
plenty
put
of
up.
tape on.
That's the game he put up 81.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that then.
Yeah, it's been tape after tape after tape. Because that's the one high-scoring game we can cling to that wasn't stat padding and stat chasing like Devin Booker's was. And, we actually have proven documentation that it happened as opposed to Will Chamberlain, which is all just like Sasquatch stories right now. Yeah, we saw it, but none of us have ever seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, those shots that he were making, he made in that game were pretty nuts, pretty contested.
Yeah.
So.
And you get bonus credit because you did say also that you had to factor in degree of difficulty by creating your own shots. Whereas Clay, although it's impressive to shoot 9 for 9 from 3, 4 for 4 from mid range, 2 for 2 from the line, a lot of those are catch and shoots. Run off the screen, grab it real quick, throw it up. Kobe was creating them joints, heavily contested, dribbling around, through tough defense. So for that, A+.
Yeah, A+.
I get that.
A+. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I forget what I was gonna say though. Yeah, I don't know. One take. That's all I know.
One take is all you know.
Yeah. So I'll take my A+. Rev, you had to go out with the D-, but it's all good. You actually learned something, so don't ever forget it.
Hey, yeah. Like I said, it's like a little. I think that bird is. I think they call it a jet or something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But a little birdie told me something.
Yeah, little birdie. Yeah. Once again, shout out Jed with the facts. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and get into the discussion-based part of the show, and we gotta start it off a little somberly. I know you guys probably heard in the news about the Madden tournament killing where what would they be called? Madden esports players were murdered. Murdered at a Madden tournament in Jacksonville. Let's see. Trying to pull up their names. Sorry, okay, yep. Taylor Robertson and Elijah Clayton. Elijah was 22 and Robertson was 28 years old. They were killed by David Katz. So what was like your first reaction when you heard about the Madden I don't know what do they call it, Madden Madden massacre, maybe.
Mm,
It was 11 people were shot, I think, and then the gunman killed himself
right.
in this cowardice
Um,
act.
I don't know. I guess like part of me was shocked, but at the same time, not at all, because it's just happening too often. And every time I see big events with like multiple people, I always assume the worst can happen, just because I think somebody out there is looking at this as a perfect opportunity. So I'm not that surprised. It is unfortunate, however, that you can't really go anywhere and do anything because any little harmless or innocent place can be turned into the next death zone by some mentally ill moron that feels the need to take out whatever personal frustrations he has on totally random and innocent people and ruin not only a perfectly good event, ruin people's lives by taking lives, um, and just it really ruins the idea of having any good fun outside of the house because it's like nowhere is off limits to these people. It's just any potential gathering of multiple people. Somebody's thinking, "Ooh, this is a great time to try to shoot a bunch of people," and then if I'm lucky, I get to kill myself before anything happens. So, kind of annoying.
Yeah, I think kind of like to your point where if you saying um of not being surprised, like this is just something they always say. Like we talk about this when we talk about it in journalism classes about covering it. People are like you can really tell how people are starting to be like so desensitized to this stuff. Uh, Cam, our friend Cam, I saw he tweeted like he was wondering. He tweeted that he was wondering when this is going to happen again. And I don't know about you, but when I get in like this is actually something that crosses my mind when I'm out in public.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, it's just kind of it sucks to have to like think about that stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
For
unfortunate.
that reason,
It's a really
there's a
unfortunate
lot of
situation.
there's a lot of public things that I just will not go to because I'm already like, nope. It
Really?
just feels like it's too easy of a target. Yeah.
Really? I see. I wouldn't. It's never stopped me from going somewhere. Um, but I don't know. It's just something that I think about for sure. Like if I'm at a public place like this, it's something that crosses my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't
I
say
just think
that
the
it's
stuff.
it's ever been a time where I like think about like when I was at the PJ Championship, for instance. That was something that I definitely thought about, which is crazy because it's like it's the PJ Championship, but at the same time, it's happened at other similar events too, where it was a lot of people. It was a lot of people at Bell Reef. Um, so
I actually thought about that with that as well. But no, I don't know. Like stuff like say a Comic Con, for example. Um, very crowded, so plenty of people. That's an easy target. It's also a lot of commotion, so it's hard to really keep an eye on what's really going on. And with so many people dressing up in all these crazy ways,
dressing
somebody
up,
could
yeah,
easily
yeah,
sneak something past you without you really fully realizing like what's going on. So stuff like that, there's just too many unpredictable variables in play
mhm,
for me to feel like, oh yeah, sure, I'll go. Like that type of stuff really makes me go, there's just too much potential for something to happen. I'm good. Something like going to the movies, like that doesn't stop me from going. Of course, I'm a little extra aware
yeah.
as far as like being cognizant or whatever of what exits to go through, how I would be able to avoid anything if something were to happen. But
The movies one is really the one that I do think about
hmm
because it's really like nowhere to go. It's crazy,
absolutely,
and that's the one that always kind of sticks out in my mind. and also the
So
fact that he's not in jail. But that's another topic.
yeah, that's another day.
Right. But yeah, we felt like we wanted to discuss this topic because it is a relevant topic, and then it had to do with Madden, so that's kind of sports related. So we wanted to include that into the show.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, hopefully that is the last time, at least for a while, that we can even talk about something like that or have to even consider it.
yeah, you say that, but I'm
Unfortunately, we both know that won't be the case.
yeah, that's not going to be the case. So it's no point in you saying that. Like Cam said, now it's just um it's sad that only two people die, or it's sad that two people died, but we've seen worse. So
Hmm.
fortunate that the other victims that were shot were able to live.
Well, that's the worst part about it is that because we've seen so much worse, it's easy to be like, it's not that bad. Like
Yeah,
it's easy to not even really think of it as being that horrible
that's true.
because you become so desensitized to it because it happens so often and it's happened in huge numbers. So
Yeah, it's probably not even a smart, good thing to say.
yeah, which I mean, I believe
What'd you
after
say?
a certain point. I said I believe it's just a natural reaction after a certain point.
Yeah,
So unfortunate.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I guess we can move on from that topic. Sorry we had to start off the discussion section a little somberly, sad.
Yeah.
But I think it's still important to talk about and
Hmm.
to discuss, and that's what we want to do on the show. Talk about the things that should be talked about, and I feel like we've done a good job of that,
Absolutely.
including like specifically with our last show talking about Skylar Diggins, the WNBA and stuff like that. Serena
Mm.
Williams, Urban Meyer.
Something else happened actually. Speaking of WNBA,
What happened?
so Tyler Johnson, plays for the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
He got called out by Brittany Griner, who says you have a bunch of keyboard warriors that never picked up a basketball a day in their life talking bad about the WNBA. So that's obviously all the trolls on the internet. And then she says you have mediocre players like Tyler Johnson making almost $20 million a year. We deserve more respect.
Yeah, I don't know how he got that contract. That was a dumb move
And
with Pat Riley.
although that's a very serious question in itself, why you have to bring my man's into this? There are plenty of worse contracts. What even made you think? You know what?
No, that's
I'm
just
going for Tyler
that's
Johnson
probably one of
dead.
the first people that you really think about. Cause even with Harrison Barnes, I mean Harrison Barnes or Tyler Johnson. Like, what has Tyler Johnson done in the NBA? And he's
Absolutely
making
nothing.
20 million a year. Harrison Barnes, you at least argue that he has the potential to be a key player on a team to the playoffs. Like he's won a championship. But Tyler Johnson, like he's not even the third best player on that team. Is he?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Like I don't
I do
even
not
know.
disagree.
I don't even know like his. I honestly barely know what he's good at. Like, isn't he? I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what he does. What's his talent? What he's good at?
I've seen him have a couple good dunks.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's a dunker, ain't
Basically, though, he's getting a nice poster.
he?
But at
Yeah.
the same time, I wonder if they're only highlights because it's not something that he typically does. I don't know. Heat doesn't get televised enough since LeBron left town, and Tyler Johnson doesn't get talked about enough because, as you mentioned, not really a relevant player on the squad. So
Yeah, they got Hus. Yeah,
yeah,
he's not the third best player on that team. So I mean, yeah, you didn't have to put my man's out there like that, but still, she's making a valid point.
yeah, she ain't wrong.
He's at least mediocre.
I just know his he had to look at his mentions on Twitter be like, dog, for real? Like, what? Excuse me?
What I do to you?
What you bring? Why you even got my name in your mouth right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I just thought that was interesting.
Yep. And that's a cool little segue because we're gonna talk about some more NBA basketball, something we haven't talked about in a while, actually. Um,
Hmm.
it was reported today that Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward will be ready to go for the Oh, that was a cool, fun sound. I got a new subscriber. It didn't pop up though. I'm upset.
Mm,
I think I
next
see it on
time.
my phone. Shout out Lamount. Um, for subscribing if you listen. I appreciate you, buddy. That's my cousin. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. It was reported that they are ready to join the NBA. No, well, they are ready to go for training camp. So what I was gonna ask you was, I think the Celtics are obviously the favorites for the Eastern Conference to win the Eastern Conference in the playoffs and make it to the NBA Finals. But who would you say are
Excuse me.
the who has the best chance to kind of overtake that and challenge Celtics to win Eastern Conference?
Mm, hold on, excuse me one second. Sorry
Also,
about that.
Jed, real quick, Jed, I want you, if you can, to explain that because I don't understand. He said hockey. He says players cannot control the league. What do you mean by that? Well, go ahead and answer your question, Rev.
Uh, I think it's Toronto. I know a lot of people give them too much credit because they think, ooh, you know, y'all just got Kawhi, that's it. But they were a number one seed without Kawhi. DeRozan is definitely a phenomenal player, but you can't tell me Kawhi isn't a step up. And all they lost was DeRozan and Podol, and they got Danny Green. So another great shooter along with CJ Miles, probably off the bench, or maybe they do start him. Um, but Toronto has a fairly good bench. Uh, so as far as the clientele, that's there. Um, we'll see as far as coaching goes. Casey was a good coach for all intents and purposes until LeBron was on the other side of the court. Um, so if you even get a decent coach with the talent that they have, it should be hard. To me, I don't see Philly passing them up. I know people think Philly's really good and, oh, they won 50 games, but there was a stretch where Philly played really bad teams. So that kind of padded their record. Um, and to me, they just don't have the I'm not going to say they're young, but they just don't have I don't think they'd be built to be able to take on the Pacers, who look like a phenomenal team, and the Celtics and the Raptors. At some point, you're going to face one or maybe two of those three teams and make it out the East. I doubt it. So I'd say second place is probably Toronto.
So you don't think the Sixers got it?
I
You think
don't.
they
I don't
still
think
too
not over
young?
Toronto. I think they like I said, if Toronto's even close to as successful as they have been in previous years as far as records are concerned, with having potentially a better system or better coach is, who's to say yet. But with having that also, that could maybe help them get over the hump. But Brad Stevens is a hell of a he can get a whole bunch of dudes from the Y right now and still win like 30 games. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I still got if it were anybody, I would say Toronto. I'm willing to bet that.
Yeah, I disagree. I think Philly would be the team because
But
I honestly don't think Toronto's gonna work. I feel like a part of why Toronto worked so well last year was um the fact that DeRozan and Lowry were such good friends. So they were cohesive. But I don't think Kawhi is gonna work in Toronto because regardless of what he says, he doesn't want to be in Toronto, and he's not staying in Toronto. He's not keeping an open mind to that. Um, I mean, they'll be good, but I know they're definitely not gonna be better than the Sixers. The Sixers are already shown that they work well together and they are a pretty good team. I think the Sixers are definitely the um or in my opinion they have the best shot of actually still in the East.
I
Um
don't know. My only problem with them is, like I said, part of people's argument for that goes into games one. But I do remember the stretch where there was like, well, of course that's a W. That kind of helped them pad their way up. And then, when you've got a team that at one point was neck to neck with you, Cleveland is just dropping and dropping and dropping. It just makes you look better and better. The other teams in the East are pretty whack, but like that Sixers team struggled against the Heat for a minute. The Heat weren't that good. Like D Wade is their only good player. Hassan wasn't really getting quality minutes, and D Wade is like 83. So if they were really giving you that hard, don't get me wrong, Eric Spoelstra is a great coach. They don't have the talent that you have. So you struggle with them. Y'all played Boston, and Ben Simmons, you got locked at one point. It's hard for me to have as faith in them as the definitive second spot, potentially overtaking the first spot.
uh I don't know. Sorry, I was kind of looking down on my phone. I didn't really hear your point.
Mm. There you have it, ladies and underappreciated. So if any of you guys have an extra spot for anything, I'll take it.
Oh, I got people talking to me. My bad.
Mm.
Yeah. What was your point? What did you say?
I was just saying, you struggle against Miami. Not a good team at all. Sure, got a great coach. They don't have nearly the you do. You struggle against them.
Oh yeah,
You
my
play
my
Boston.
my point to that is that's that wave factor.
Okay, fair enough. But then you play Boston. They lost in what, 5?
Yeah, but
And Ben Simmons was
Boston
getting locked up.
Boston is obviously the better team. Like that. This is my point.
Yeah,
Boston is
but
obviously the favorite, but they
Ben
would.
Simmons had a game where he scored 1 point. So it didn't even look. I understand they're the better team, but it didn't even look competitive at some points in that. So to me, it's hard for me to think that just in 1 year's time, you can all of a sudden be neck and neck with them. And this is a Boston without Kyrie or Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, but that's the point.
So
Well, my thing is, if they faced Toronto, I feel like they would have beaten Toronto.
I don't
They got
know
a bad luck of the draw of getting the Celtics in the second round. But if they like Toronto couldn't even beat the Cavs. Well, I guess Celtics couldn't beat the Cavs either, but Toronto
because
didn't
they see
show up
LeBron,
to the Cavs.
they see LeBron, and all of a sudden there's stuff running down their legs, and their knees buckle. Even though his team is doo doo, they see LeBron James like, oh God, guys, here we go, PTSD kicking in, and then they choke. So I feel like the same way you can say Philly gets a bad look at the Celtics, the Raptors get a bad look at the job by having to deal with LeBron so quick because they didn't really get to get their feet under them before they had to deal with the dude that's been destroying any progress they've tried to make for the last 4 years straight. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see in the regular season, and we'll see how matchups are starting to look in the playoffs, and we'll really get a good look of if they really built for it.
Second part to the question: do Kyrie and Hayward stay healthy this year?
Hayward, sure. Kyrie, I don't see Kyrie playing more than probably like 60 games. I'll say like 65 at most.
65 is a good number though.
That's a good number, but I was going to say 55. But yeah, anywhere between 55, 65 games is the most I see out of Kyrie. He's never played an entire season, so I don't see him all of a sudden developing Iron Man genes this year and playing the entire or most of. So yeah, I'd say 50 to 60, somewhere in that ballpark, is how long he stays healthy.
Is that including the playoffs? Is he going to be healthy for the playoffs?
Yeah, he'll be healthy for the playoffs. Unfortunately, this year, repeated injury just kicked in late. It wasn't, mid-season or closer to the early season. It just kicked in at the worst time because that was the home stretch. So I feel like he stays healthy for the playoffs. He might just have some little bats and bruises here and there mid-season or so. But Gordon Hayward, for the most part, I don't think up until this freak injury has missed extended amounts of time.
Yeah.
He's a pretty solid guy. So
Yeah,
and he's been making solid progress. So
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine.
It was a freak injury. It's not like something that's gonna continuously happen.
Right.
Okay.
I guarantee he ain't going for alley oops no more though. At least not if Kyrie throw him. Nope.
Chill. You got chill.
I'm good on that.
Do the Celtics win the championship?
Oh, absolutely. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Thank you, basketball.
Speaking into existence.
Yeah, but I don't know. One thing I will say, I think that top to bottom, the Celtics team is obviously way more talented than that Cavs team was. Granted, the Cavs team got swept, but there were points that it was at least competitive. So to me, if you put a Boston team in the Cavaliers' shoes, they don't let that competitive edge slip, and they don't blow a lead at any point in that crucial moment of the game. And they also don't get an offensive rebound and run to half court with it. So I think a Boston team is smarter and more oiled of a machine than the Cavs are, and also a way better coach and a way better system. I think they're one of the systems and coaches that can really push Golden State because you got to really try to really think where it's coming from. Golden State, we know who we need to guard. We're not going to stop them necessarily, but we know who to guard. Draymond's not going to do nothing really but play, make, rebound, defend, and you got 3 shooters. Boston, the offense can come from anywhere. Kyrie is going to cook anybody you put on him. Gordon Hayward's going to make an impact. Jason Tatum's out there. Terry Rozier. There's too many options to really consistently be able to stay in front of them and know like how to stop them, I feel. So I feel like Boston at least makes it interesting. I think if Boston and the Warriors play in the finals tomorrow, it goes to 6. A fully healthy roster on both sides, I think it goes to 6.
And they win?
No, I think Golden State probably still wins. Because even if DeMarcus Cousins comes back even slightly as good as he was, I don't know that Al Horford can keep up with it.
Yeah.
He's a great center, but Al Horford is anybody trying to guard DeMarcus is going to be hard. And even if he's not bully balling, slashing threes, he's shown that he can hit them pretty decently. So it'll be kind of hard to guard a 5 out that's legit. Like everybody out here can make at least 1 or 2.
Right. Real quick to the people listening. Did the Celtics win the championship? The story was Kyrie and Gordon Hayward were both ready to go for training camp. So what do you guys think? Are they can they take down the Warriors? My take on it is, man, they're good. They have a lot of good pieces. Like I think they have the best shot out of any team in the league for the last 4 or 5 years. No, why I say 4 or 5 years, 2 to 3 years since they got KD. Well, I should just say since they got KD. I don't know. I like the Celtics. I almost like the Celtics just as much as I like the Warriors. If I'm being honest.
You say you almost like the Celtics, what?
Just as much as I like the Warriors.
So you finally admitted?
Finally admitted what?
You have a bandwagon issue?
No. That's not a bandwagon. I'm still a Warriors fan, but I'm saying I can like a different team. And also,
the fan handbook says, no, I'm just playing.
Right. Also, Jez said Celtics won't win at all without Kyrie, and I think that's blasphemous.
He said, "Wait."
Yeah, that's what I meant with Kyrie. That's blasphemous.
That's.
I mean, if the Warriors weren't who they were, they'd win a championship this year easily. Celtics are so good, so good. Like they top 10, top 2.
Yeah, and I I'm pulling for them because as much as I obviously have a favorite team, who it is, but I also appreciate the classics. So there are teams I would love to see do well. So I would love for the Knicks, the Celtics, the Lakers to all be great teams again. I would love for the Bulls to actually be a decent team, but at least their success has been more recent. Like they've had successful seasons, they just haven't been able to win. But like the Lakers, Boston, the Knicks, they haven't had a great season in some years. Um,
I don't want to
so
see
yeah,
that. Man, this is tell to that I say, well, homie, this is my day, just like great Kanye West said. I don't want to care about the great teams. I want to see. Right now, it's about the players.
well, if you have good players on historically great teams, that's when the NBA is pretty good. Those teams have like some of the biggest fan bases.
But I don't
Chicago,
like that.
I mean New York and LA
I don't like
and
that.
Boston
It's been the
have some of the
same.
biggest support.
I don't like it's been the same 7 teams to win the however many teams are winning the championship since like the 60s. I don't like that.
It,
Like,
it ain't gonna be nobody else though.
let some of the other teams get it. See, that's why these other
How?
teams need new
When all the
management, man.
superstars want to go play together, and you can't convince them to be competitive, play and make other teams better. They'd rather play with each other and just all win together. It's hard to make other teams great because they all go to the same team.
I don't want to hear that. It's.
I mean, it's just facts.
I mean,
And then you got to look at
yeah.
market sizes too. So
Yeah, the market
if
size really does hurt, but I mean,
if
that's
New York
where.
becomes available to top tier guys, and they say, "Hey, let's go play in New York," New York's back in that conversation.
But at the
Boston and
same,
LA are back in that conversation right now. So it's hard to really expect another team to get in on the fray that's not named the Golden State Warriors.
at the same time, these teams just aren't drafting the way that they could be. Like, this is a team where you don't see. It's like all these teams that aren't good and haven't been winning in a long time. They don't draft well either. And the good teams that do like this. Okay, like think about like the Celtics. Like they made that deal with the Brooklyn Nets. They knew when to go to
Brooklyn got
rebuild
to be the
mode.
goofiest franchise ever.
Right. And then you got Brooklyn who actually decided to make this deal because they just needed to try to get the championship that year. They couldn't wait. They get it. They got it. Like the Celtics get it, the Nets don't. It's not the Celtics' fault that they took that trade.
No, absolutely
And
not.
it's not the Warriors' fault that Draymond fell to the second round. 6 teams passed on Steph Curry. They get Klay Thompson with the 11th pick. Uh it's not the Warriors' fault.
And nobody's mad. Nobody's mad at the Warriors front office for doing what they're doing. They're smart. I think they're more so upset, at least me personally, upset with the other players that said, shoot, it looked nice over there. I can't be mad at you drafting 3 phenomenal players. You realize my favorite team at one point had Russ, KD, and Harden all through the draft. So if anybody get it, I get it. If we weren't stupid, we keep that together. And we're Golden State before Golden State ever gets the chance to shine like that.
Yeah, but the only reason
and people probably give them the same hate.
Only reason they get those players is because it was attractive because they drafted the other 3 players. And they signed Andre Iguodala.
That's what I'm saying. You can't be mad. It's not a question about front offices. With the KD and the DeMarcus Cousins, it's more so the players like, wow, we expected more. Nobody's expecting more from the front office because if the player's available and they call you, you're going to get it done. Period.
Yeah. Well, with these smaller market teams, they got to realize that I'm sure they do, but they just got to do a better job of it. We need to put more resources into scouting and drafting. We need to put more resources into our coach, a la Brad Stevens, somebody that's proven. Get one of these young coaches that are in college that you can tell that they have a good system. Like Brad Stevens took Butler to the championship multiple times. Like why Butler is not a team that historically was in the championship until they got Brad Stevens. So something that he's doing right, clearly. Put more resources into the front office and put more money into the front office, and they got to just be homegrown. Like you're not gonna get these free agents.
Yeah,
Just
and I
as
think
just as the NBA is not about drafting, then what is it about?
at this point it's about free agent splashes to me. I think because
Yeah, but the only way you're gonna get the free agents if you're in a small market is if you look attractive. OKC is a small market, but yet they can get free agents because they did draft players to make it attractive. It's free agents just don't go to the large market teams. They go to the teams that look most attractive.
well, the point I was also gonna make with the draft recently, how many years have we said, "Oh, this draft is stacked," and then you're like, only two or three of these players were good. So it's hard to really have good drafts because a lot of these guys haven't translated to much once they get there, even though they look like they will. I think this draft definitely looks more promising.
Yeah, but I mean, my
But
point to
when you
that.
think about the last couple of drafts, how many drafts have had guys that were consistently solid or came in making a decent impact and improved?
Yeah,
Not
but
guys that were top tier picks and didn't do anything for 2 or 3 years.
my point to that is it's always been like that. That's not something new. It's always been the '03 draft, the '96 draft, and before then it was the '84 draft. Like that's
Yeah.
1 year per decade.
With teams getting so doing the tanking approach to get good draft picks, and you get draft picks that don't turn out to be, I think it's just harder to build through the draft because everybody's trying to find that top tier pick. So we're going to suck all year. Then we get him, and he doesn't really help us whatsoever. We try to get these new coaches and do this. Our
Yeah.
team's still not good.
I
And
mean,
then there's the teams that are just head and shoulders above everybody. So even if you do have decent young guys, you're not going to go anywhere. Like the Suns have nice young pieces, but they just can't really amount to much because the league is already like, for the most part, head and shoulders above the Suns as a whole. And then you're in the Western Conference, so it's even harder for you with a whole bunch of young, decent guys and even a decent system or coach to get anywhere. So it's harder for those teams. The rich keep getting richer, and the poor keep trying to get richer, but they just can't break through. I don't know.
so you're saying it's like a representation of the country?
Hey, I mean, I take it there, but you're not wrong. We're just gonna leave that where it is. I
Yeah.
definitely thought about
And
that,
don't get me
but yeah,
wrong, I'm not saying it's. I'm not trying to act like it's easy. Like obviously, it's harder than it looks. It's hard to find a Donovan Mitchell in the draft. It's hard to find a Damian Lillard in the draft. But I think I feel like some of these teams just don't have a good direction on what to do. I don't know. It just
yeah,
seems like that. Like, cause I don't know. You don't see trades like the Brooklyn trade all the time, but the fact that you've seen it once and they actually went through with that, it's just like you screwed yourself for 5 years, 5+ years, because you were greedy for 1 year, and it didn't amount to anything. It was all
yeah.
worthless. Whether you won that championship or not that year, you knew it was no way you're gonna continue to win any championships. You were just going all
Right.
in for 1 year,
Well, that
and
was kind of during their like change of face, right?
yeah,
For
yeah,
Brooklyn now with
yeah,
this whole
no, but
design. So I think that was one of those things where either way we're gonna be sucky. And at that time, how would you ever know some of the pieces that came through the door that you had that you could have had? So I think they just wanted to get butts and seats. To be honest with you, I think they thought, hey, if we get these big guys, we got this whole new branding. We'll get butts and seats. These guys should get us to the playoffs at least. We'll see what happens. They probably never would have thought in a million years how stupid that trade really was with all the pieces that they could have gotten with those picks and how horrible that experiment turned out to be in the long run.
well, when you're getting paid that amount of money, that's something you should think about.
Hey,
Plain and
I
simple.
mean, I don't know if I worked, it never happened, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah, but I
All right.
mean, Jed, that's a good point. Money and salary cap manipulation. I guess that is kind of the NBA now, but there's still, I feel like there's a way. to beat that with a draft pick, for instance, like Donovan Mitchell, who's obviously a trend um, sending player, uh, good enough to change an entire organization. And that's one.
Mm.
And he's one in a few, but I mean, all they need to do is have two or three more drafts. Not even that. They only need one or two more drafts with another player that's half decent.
Who is this we talking about?
Utah Jazz.
Utah. Yeah.
They only need like
I mean, you have
they got it
like
right. They got it right last year. All they need is one more player to really give them a shot at being uh like really contest for a championship.
is it Grayson Allen?
Absolutely not. Like, yeah, they do so well, and then you draft Grayson Allen. It's like, eh. I mean, but it was just with the pick that they had. It was probably there's probably somebody that's gonna be better that came after him. But I mean,
There are those teams that like I said, there's a teams they've gone through their phase of being back in the pits of hell as far as basketball is concerned. So the Pacers have had some bad years. They had a couple up years with Paul George, David West, Hibbert, and then, haven't really done anything, and now good again. So Pacers, one of those teams on the rise, just need a couple things.
yeah,
Utah is
they
one
need
of
one
those
more
teams.
piece.
So, ideally, they get somebody via trade, via free agency, via draft that pushes them to their next level. Because I personally only wanted LeBron to leave Cleveland so I could stop seeing Cleveland and Golden State. Golden State's a given coming out of the West, and LeBron, wherever he is a given coming out of the East. I'm tired of seeing every team he's on go to the championship. I'm tired of seeing Golden State go to the championship. So I understand exactly what you're saying. I'm tired of seeing this team. And that's how I know, for a matter of fact, as much as people ride Jordan and think he's so great, if we actually were fully functioning adults or even teenagers during the 90s, we would have hated Jordan because we would be tired of seeing him win every year.
You're a Bulls
and it
fan,
just
though, so
being
you would
no
love him.
contest.
I say you're a Bulls fan, though, so you would have loved him.
I mean, I probably would have because I was born in Chicago. So, yeah, I might have enjoyed the same way you probably enjoy Golden State, even though it may be kind of boring to see them just keep winning. You're not complaining. That's your team.
Yeah.
But, the majority of audiences were probably like, oh, my God, here we go again. Jordan's going to win.
And it's not that I'm tired of seeing them win. I'm just tired of there not being much competition.
Yeah.
Well,
luckily for you, Chris Paul has faulty health, so
right.
he stopped that from happening this year.
Right. Facts. Let's see. Jed said there's no defense. I disagree with that. There was something else that I was going to say. But I know what I was going to say. I think another thing for these teams they got to realize is that the Warriors is not going to be forever. So instead of trying to, and for some of them, I think the mindset should be, instead of trying to beat them now, like just hold off and realize that eventually they're going to break up. It's no telling when. Yeah. But if you prepare your team and you get a team that's good enough, that's consistently good, you just gotta wait your turn. Like it's the Warriors era right now. So, but to go against that point as far as there being no defense anymore, I don't think just because scores are in 100 plus, that doesn't mean there's no defense. That just means the game has changed. Because
I don't know.
In the playoffs, there's defense. There's playoff defense. And the games aren't as high scoring. It's probably just emphasis on playoffs versus regular season. And plus, the game, like I said, the game has changed. More people are taking threes, which means you're gonna have higher scoring games.
Well, I think to go along with it, there are a billion lackadaisical defenders, and then also the NBA doesn't necessarily reward defense anymore. A lot of things that made defense so gritty and hard at one point in basketball have been ruled ineffective or illegal. So
just like
it's hard to play defense to the same degree.
Just like the No Fun League.
Yeah. So you're not seeing guys really be clamp up. I mean, you got your Jimmy Butler, Kawhis, and Paul Georges that are solid defenders. You got your Rudy Gobert, big man that's a solid defender. But as far as guys being able to like straight up lock people in the same way, they can't play that type of defense no more. And so I feel like, and I'm 100% sure you'll disagree with me here, maybe that wasn't the intention necessarily, but when you change the defensive rules to make the defense less strenuous or intense, it allows the offense to be much more prevalent. And what do people love about basketball? All the offense, the majority of fans. That's why so many people love Golden State. Because look, they're shooting a bunch of threes. Ooh, look at the offense.
Yeah, why would I disagree with that?
Part of that is the NBA's problem.
But I mean, it's obviously a problem that they're enjoying because NBA ratings have been going up.
Oh yeah, that's why they did it.
Yeah. I don't know. But I still think there's defense. It's just it comes at different points of the season. Playoff basketball is still the best basketball. It's most exciting and most interesting. Like if you Curry religiously goes crazy throughout the regular season, but when it comes to playoffs, defenses really start to clamp down on him, and he struggles a lot of times in the playoffs. Yeah, but I mean, shit, Chamberlain hasn't existed in the NBA since 2000, since it began. There's no such thing as traveling. What is traveling? What is a travel? We know that.
Yeah.
We know that. They ain't got nothing to do with it. They ain't got nothing to do with this conversation.
Well, he's true about the coasting effect too. And LeBron Green shouldn't be there and can't play basketball.
You cut out. What'd you say?
I was talking about Jed's point about people coasting. There are definitely people that LeBron and Draymond called out in one of those uninterrupted interviews. And there's plenty of people in the league that can't play basketball and shouldn't be there, but somehow they can just coast by, or they never really improve. I was talking to Adrian earlier about Dwight Howard. Now, part of the issue he has is he never really developed anything other than what he was. So once injuries started to kind of add up and he had to slow down,
he should have listened to Shaq.
Nothing really kept him effective because he couldn't hold on to that. And Adrian actually brought up Shaq, and one of the things I was saying is Shaq can get away with kind of coasting because you couldn't do nothing with him. Dwight never had the advantage of just being way too dominant to really ever do anything.
Way too massive.
Dwight had weakness. Yeah, Dwight had weaknesses. He wasn't as massive. So, you got a lot of players that just coast.
He should have listened to Shaq.
Hey, shouldn't we?
Instead of arguing with him and getting beef with him. But Shaq beefs with every center in the NBA that didn't come before him.
Hey, I guess when you're the most play the game, grew up watching the great players and got to play against some of them, you see these guys now, it's hard to take them serious. Or you see the stuff they do and they think that's going to cut it, and you're like, dude, that's not going to do it.
Yeah.
If Jordan had a platform more to watch games and talk about them openly, he'd probably criticize a lot of guards. Like, he'd probably have things to say. Any player that played that position and is one of the greatest to do so is going to call out other players that are in that position and maybe have the skills or potential to do good and don't. So it makes sense. Unless you're JaVale McGee. You're just the easy target.
JaVale McGee. Yeah, that was a lengthy NBA topic. But it's always fun talking about the NBA. It's kind of like our roots. When we talk about it, we talk about it. We just keep talking. That's exactly what we just did.
Right.
We started off with the Celtics and kind of just, took away and ran with it. I feel like our viewer counter is wrong. It's saying 2. But it seems like more people are in here. At least 3. I don't know.
Who knows? Never focus on it.
Yeah, you're right.
As far as I'm concerned, there's 100 people in here right now. So.
Oh, hey, shout out to all 100 y'all. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go to the next topic. And guess what, Rev?
Ooh, is it something fun?
Yes, we got a new segment on the show.
Ooh,
I don't really got a name for this segment, but I'm gonna explain it to the people. We gotta come up with a name. What
we're
should
gonna
the
have to
name
work
be?
on that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that. All right, well, yeah, we got a new segment for the show. Something that we thought of. Um, so what the segment is basically we're gonna have a news story, like a like we do. We talk about news stories through that are recent events, and it's gonna be circle. It's gonna evolve around a player or athlete. And what we want to do is we're gonna act out the athlete. Um, so like I'm gonna be the interviewer, and Rev's gonna be the athlete. I'm gonna ask him a question, and he's gonna give me the answer as if he was that person. Does that make sense? Did I explain that correctly?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the to start it off, like I said, it's gonna be a news story, and the story that we're gonna talk about today, we're gonna do two stories. But the first one is going to be Odell Beckham Jr. cashing in that check to the money. He's got a five. He signed an extension with the Giants, 5 years, worth $95 million, 65 million guaranteed. So I want my buddy Rev to play Odell Beckham, and I'm gonna be the interviewer asking him a couple questions. So, are we good?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Odell, man, how does it feel? Signed this check, or signed this contract, this extension. You got 90. You're almost $100 million man. What does that feel like?
Uh, no verbal things really going on here. Just intense millie rocking and hitting them folks and doing the whip.
That's
No comment. Next question.
that's that's what you do when you sign a contract extension.
Yeah, you go do the no feelings challenge or the in my feelings challenge. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
So what's the first thing you spending your money on?
Um, insurance for my hair because my golden locks are part of my image.
Yeah. At this point.
The next thing, I also send Drake a gift for being one of my friends and somebody that I just randomly stay at his house and listen to a lot of his music and dance to. Uh, I probably also, if I'm Odell, I am Odell. There's there's probably a lot of money spent on dumb fashion stuff.
Yeah, so what's your dumb buy? What's the stupid impulse buy that you're making as soon as you sign this
Probably
contract and
some
you get your
like
first check?
you get your first check, might even be a new whip because why not? And then
Are
a
you
lot
gonna
of
are you
dumb
gonna whip
clothing.
and nay in the new whip?
Oh, absolutely. And make a couple videos, post on my Instagram, make a couple posts for my story, and then be your girls MCM.
Okay.
That's the
And
whole plan.
okay. And so as the new highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, who's the first receiver you're gonna stun on, um, and let them know that you got more money than them?
Name a receiver. Name all of them because that's everybody. Everybody getting it.
how you gonna stun
Uh,
on them? What you gonna?
hey, look. From now on, anytime I score, I'm doing the make it rain emoji. If anybody I'm playing against gets a fine, I'll say, "Hey, I can take care of that." Any way that I can gloat and rub in your face that I'm making more money than you now, and more money than any of y'all in my position, I'm gonna remind you. There's just any little stupid thing I can do to get fined. Oh, I can write a check for that. No worries. I'll find all types of ways to just make you go, this dude here, man.
So basically, you gonna get on everybody's nerves.
Oh yeah, I'm a troll. I'm a troll. I'll probably buy the giant
You cut out. What
for the
you cut
sideline.
out? You cut out, Odell. What'd you say?
I said I'll buy the Nets. I'll buy the Giants for the sideline just in case. You know, now that I'm stunting like this, I need more than one net. I can't limit my love to just one.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, we appreciate you coming to the Straight Talk podcast. Be sure to spend some of that money on something good. You should be ashamed of yourself. You didn't say you were giving any of that money to charity. Um, Kids say you was
What
gonna buy
charity?
your mom a house
She got 3 of them
already.
already.
Okay. Well, yeah, we appreciate you coming out to the Straight Talk podcast. Um, Odell Beckham Jr., ladies and gentlemen. Applause, applause. But yeah, that was Odell Beckham, and it's nice to see he's cashing his check, $95 million.
I feel like he forgot to say about. 'Cause dang.
You said what?
So I feel like he forgot to say about time.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
man, he should have been paid that man.
Yeah, but it's also kind of sucks to realize that there are players in the NBA making twice as much,
Right.
more than
Yeah.
twice as much.
As long as you don't think about it that hard,
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's just man. I don't know. It's got to feel good, but like you said, you look at some of your counterparts and you're like, dang, that still ain't even half of what so and so is making.
Not even
So
close. Not even close.
yeah,
What was Kyrie or Westbrook making 200 million, 200,
yeah,
240 million, 50 million?
yeah, it's like 20. It might be like 220, or it's like right over 200.
Lord Jesus! And it's a
And
sport that
yeah,
he's more than likely not gonna get injured.
right. Only time he been injured, freak injuries, getting elbowed in the face, something happening to his knee against the Rockets like 2013.
Well, somebody need to keep
But
elbowing
yeah,
him in the face because that boy's ugly.
hey, yo, 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 cool out, cool out,
That
cool out,
boy,
cool out.
it might make him look better, get some facials.
Hey, cool out, cool out. Steph Curry looked like an alien. Somebody need to elbow him. Yeah, but I don't know. It's speaking of it, while we're on this segment, by the way, shout out to Odell. One of Odell's friends and teammates was Victor Cruz, right?
Yeah.
Victor Cruz recently retired. Jumping back to the NBA, you know who else retired, Josh?
Who else retired?
It's the end of an era, man. It's unfortunate that in the same summer, this team lost two of his greatest players
Mm.
and one of his future greatest players.
This one's for you, AP.
This one's for you, AP. It's unfortunate. Manu Ginobili has decided to retire.
Yep.
So just get a moment of silence for the innovator of the Euro step, the one that made it popular, I feel.
Yep. Cue the sad music.
We need to get these hot buttons together. But yeah, Manu Ginobili decided that, 16 years in, I'm going to go ahead and hang it up, coach.
That's it?
I'm good, love. Yeah. He
I
said,
feel
I'm
like longer than
good.
that.
I saw something. I thought it was 16. He was like, I'm good. I think it's that time. I'm ready to go be with my family. Go hang out with Tim Duncan a lot more. Go relax back in Argentina, maybe. He might go on vacation. Ain't that nice? You're not just retired, but you got more money than most retired folks. So you can do whatever you want in retirement. So I thought I'd bring him in to the studio today.
Okay.
Ask him how he felt about it. So, Manu, welcome to the show. How you doing today?
How you doing, Rev? Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
Yes,
Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, anytime. Next time, bring Tim Duncan and Tony with you. Just, as a principal thing, I like all three of y'all.
Okay.
But
I'll work on that.
So what led you to decide to retire when you was balling more than a lot of the cats that's 20 years younger than you?
Well, losing in the playoffs kind of started me thinking, I'm getting old. I got a ball spot. and a lot of people are starting to talk about it and notice it. So that was kind of tough to come to grips with. And
Mm,
then I was actually in Argentina. I went to Argentina after the playoffs. Went down to see with my family and everything.
mhm.
Um, and I heard the news about Kawhi Leonard. Uh,
Mm,
I heard the news about Tony Parker.
mm,
Um, so I was kind of, and I didn't hear that news until I got back actually from Argentina,
mhm.
and that's when I actually decided to retire. Is no point. There's no point in playing anymore.
Oh man,
Um,
there's no point.
no, there's no point. There's I mean, I don't want to play for a team that's not going to make it to the playoffs. I
Oh
mean, got
man.
DeMar DeRozan. Who is he? His name's not Tim. His name's not Tony.
Mm,
It's
ooh,
Celtic. I'm sorry, the Spurs just don't have the thing. All we got is Pop,
man.
and heard it through the grapevine that he's not going to be staying too much longer.
Oh
So
Lord,
so so
not
I
Pop.
so I figured I might as well get get going while the getting's good.
Mm,
That's why I decided to retire.
okay, okay, that's fair. So, what do you think you're gonna miss the most about Coach Pop?
Oh yeah, Coach Pop was a great guy. A lot of people think that he was really mean, but that's just the act that he put up in front of the cameras. Off cameras, he's an amazing guy. He's hilarious. Um, he stood for his players, but he made sure that we did the right thing. We played well. Um, but the thing I'm gonna miss most about Pop are his meals that he made for us.
Mm,
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that he used to cook dinner
hmm.
every week, every Sunday.
Okay,
And
okay.
his wife made the best fried chicken.
Mm. Where?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Hey, rest in peace to Mrs. Popovich. Then hopefully they got that recipe somewhere locked away.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Well, final question. How much do you hate LeBron on a scale of 1 to 10?
10 being I hate him.
Oh yeah, 10 being I can't stand him.
I actually I love LeBron. He gave the San Antonio Spurs our ring, our final ring back in 2014. So, or was that 2015? That was 20. Yeah, it was 2014.
14.
So we appreciate LeBron. Shout out to him for he was the only shot of us losing.
Mm,
So and he didn't come through like he typically does.
mm.
Uh, so yeah, shout out to him. Even the person I do hate is Ray Allen, who took one away from us the year before. But that's neither here nor there.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead, have a name drop.
huh?
I say go ahead and drop the names so the people know.
Drop the names for who?
Who's the person you do hate?
I said Ray Allen.
Oh yeah, say it one more time.
Ray Allen, aka Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Mm, mm. You know, I got some viewers that's a really sour spot. So we ain't gonna talk too much more about it.
Yeah,
Thanks for stopping by.
I don't like to talk about it either. But yeah, thanks for having me on the show. It's a good time, even though I've never
I
been
will
on the show
never
before.
watch another Spurs game again and be able to say Ginobili. So thank you for that.
That's Chuck's thing.
Hey, I do it at home. For all you know, it's my thing. Chuck stole it.
Touche.
Mm. All right, get him out of here. Get him out of here. You question me. Get him out.
Yeah. Yeah, it was always good having Ginobili stop by the house. Appreciate him coming onto the show.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We We need to get more people on more often. You know, we might have to have some special guests pop up more.
Yeah, very special.
Yes, sir.
But
Transitioning, Josh.
huh?
What's next?
Oh, what's
What's next
next?
on that list?
Speaking of show, that's all we got left on my agenda. That's gonna wrap it up for
Yes,
the
sir.
show. So, did you want to speak? Are you speaking or are you shouting?
I'm gonna just do a little quick shout. I'm shouting at the fact that I have an 8 a.m. I'm not excited about. I also work at 8 a.m. on the days that I'm not in my 8 a.m. class. So, not enjoying it.
That's
It's pretty
fun.
trash. Should have been in bed an hour, 15 minutes ago if I wanted a full 8 of sleep. And that didn't happen and probably won't happen ever this semester. But trying to get my body accustomed to being open and awake early, being receptive to everything the morning offers, you know what I'm saying, instead of sleeping in all day like a little scrub. So, yeah, I'm not enjoying it at all so far. And
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll hate it in the morning.
yeah. I gotta be up early in the morning too.
Yeah.
I am going to be speaking as well. And what am I speaking about? Oh,
Mm,
I did my fantasy draft on Sunday, yesterday,
okay.
and my
Okay.
team's nice.
Are they nice?
They nice. I had the fourth pick in the draft.
Mm.
But yeah, I got a nice team. Even though they graded me, man, they graded me. They gave me a B. I feel like I should have got A minus. They was hating on me.
He was hating, huh?
Yeah. And then they said my projected record was gonna be 6-7. I don't
Mm.
care. My team look nice though. I got who'd I get? Oh, I got Ezekiel Elliott. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I got Jared Goff, Cooper Cup. Who's my other wide receiver? Oh, Michael Thomas. Oh yeah, we nice. We looking good. We looking good, Rev.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, that's gonna do it for the show. I think we both pretty tired. Probably kind of tell. Anything else you want to
Yes.
say to the people? Want to send us away, Rev?
Yeah. For all of you that showed up, thanks for coming. Especially with it being later. Shout out to Jed. You got to get Jed on the show, man. I'm gonna get him on the show. Yeah. Yeah. It was nice. Having somebody consistently be here, top to bottom. We got a lot of people that peek in and peek out, but he was here basically the whole time. So shout out to him, and tell your friends to be more like you, dog. Put out a good word. Tell people subscribe, hit the bell, comment, all that good stuff. Aside from that, I'm ready to go to bed. So good night.
Yeah, me too. All right, y'all. Appreciate you for coming out. See ya. We'll see you Friday. As usual, we'll